Hello friends, in this video I am going to discuss the poem Ode to a Skylark. Right, it is an ode to a skylark. Skylark is the name of bird. So in romantic poetry you find bird imagery, right? So birds different, they use to convert, they use to convey different meanings, such as birds are as creatures which are close to spiritual perfection, and their gift of flight and their songs as a metaphorical examination of the poet's dreams and desires, right? And fantastic and otherworldly presence, birds metaphor for freedom. So we will discuss in this poem, right? It is an ode and it is an address to skylark. Here we begin. Hail to thee, blithe spirit, bird thou never wert, that from the heaven or near it purest thy full heart in profuse strain of unpremeditated art, right? So he addressed to the bird that it's not a simple or common or ordinary bird, rather it's a blind spirit, it's a happy spirit or a holy spirit, right? And he addressed to him that you are not bird, you are a holy spirit, right? It seems like you came from the heaven, purest of heart, right? And you are like unpremeditated art, means unplanned or some spontaneous art, right? You are something spiritual. So and further we'll see how he addressed to that. Higher still and higher from the earth thou singest, like a cloud of fire, the blue deep thou wingest, and singing still thus soar and soaring ever singest, right? Then he is praising the songs and singing of skylark, right? And then he said that the cloud of fire refers to the cloud of lightning by glowing light of the setting sun, right? And the fire here may refers to sun, because at sunset the sun look like a fire, red, and further he just praised the flight of or the flying power of skylark, that high up and high it goes in the sky, right? And then say, in the golden lightning of the sunken sun, over which clouds are brightening, thou dost float and run like an unbodied joy whose race is just began, right? So it is evening time, referring to evening time, right? Sunset and the clouds in the sky, they seems brighter, right? And the skylark, it just floating and just having a flight in the sky. It is unbound and free, it's freedom talking about. And then the pale purple even melts around thy flight, like a star of heaven in the broad daylight. Thou art unseen, yet I hear thy shrill delight. The pale purple refers to night approaching, sunset, and then the stars of the heaven. The star seems to appear in the sky, right? And then the earth. Thou art unseen means the earth or the flight of the flying power of the skylark, right? It seems to be unseen, and yet I hear thy shrill delight. But I will hear your songs. And the poet Shelley say, and further he say, keen as are the arrows of that silver sphere, whose intense lamp narrows in the white down clear, until we hardly see, we feel that it's there. So silver sphere, it's metaphor for moon, right? Or referring to the moonlight, right? In night, in the moonlight, right? And we hardly see. And he said that moon hidden from the view in daylight, but it appears during night. So you are just like that moonlight, right? Compares the bird and it sings to sing songs to moon and its silver moonlight. And further he say, all the earth and air with thy voice is loud, and as when night is bare, right? In the earth and in the air, your voice, the songs, your songs are heard loud everywhere, even in the night as well, right? And further he said, from one lonely cloud the moon rains out her beams, and heaven is overwhelmed, like the moon overwhelmed the earth, your songs also overwhelm us, right? What thou art we know not, what you know we do not know, we do not have that power to know, but you have, because you are not a common bird, you are something holy spirit or spiritual thing, right? What is the most like thee? From rainbow clouds there flow not drops so bright to see, as far as from thy presence showers a rain of melody, right? He asked some rhetorical questions, that what is most like thee, you have such power, what is the thing that give you such amazing power that we do not have, right? And then further he's compared to clouds, right, which shower rain, while the bird, it sings, it springs from the melodious songs. And then further he said, like a poet hidden in the light of thought, singing hymns unbidden, till the world is wrought to sympathy with hopes and fears it heeded not. So imagination is there, right? Like a poet, poetic imagination, and he tried to decide whether singing bird is comparable to skylark, because they are hidden from views, like a poet compare composing a poem, right? And then it is unbound and unplanned like poetry, right? So further he said, like a high born maiden in a palace tower, soothing her love laden soul in secret hour, with music sweet as love which overflows her bower. Like a high-born maiden refers to princess. You are like a princess, like a maiden making music to soothe her lover, and your songs has had that effect, right? It overflows, and such a sweet music, right? And further he discusses, like a glowworm golden. So he compares skylarks to different things, right? Now he is comparing it with the firefly, like a glowworm, right? Golden, interval of dew scattering unbeholden, its real hue among the flowers and grass which screen it from the view. So it's like a glowworm spreading light in the darkness. So your songs has that effect, right? And further he said, like a rose embowered, like a rose embowered in its own green leaves, by warm winds deflowered, till the scent it gives make faint with too much sweet, those heavy winged thieves. Right, like a rose, the skylark separate fragrance, like rose separate fragrance everywhere. The skylark, its songs are heard everywhere, right? And it gives us pleasurable, its sound is pleasurable and soothing. And further he said that heavy winged thieves, it refers to bees, or it may also refers to poets as well in Greek mythology, right? And further he said, sound of vernal showers on the twinkling grass, rain awakened flowers, all that ever was, joyous and clear, fresh thy music doth surpass, right? So he said that it's description of spring, right? The sounds of vernal showers, showering in the spring, right? A twinkling grass, flowers, joy, right? Joy, fresh and music. So the songs as welcoming as the spring showers. And then he discusses teaches spirit or bird, what sweet thoughts are thine. I have never heard praise of love or wine that panted for the flood of rapture so divine. Right, and then he just addressed to that bird, calling it a spirit or immortal thing, right? And seek inspiration from the word, from the bird, poetic inspiration, and call its songs a divine, right? Its songs are like divine songs, and the poet asked the bird to give inspiration for him. And further, he said, chorus hymeneal or the triumphal chant, match with thine mould be all, but an empty vault, a thing wherein we feel there is some hidden want. So he compared the songs of Skylark to some other songs or religious songs, right? Hymeneal, a religious hymn, right? God of marriage also refers to, and triumphal chant, a song of victory, right? So your songs, he tell us that the songs of Skylark, even they are not comparable to these songs as well, right? They are the song of Skylark is much greater. We cannot compare the songs of Skylark with these songs, because in these songs we feel something is lacking, but the songs of Skylark, they are perfect. And further he say, what objects are the fountains of thy happy stain? What fields or waves or mountains, what shapes of sky or plain, we love of thine own kind, what ignorance of pain. So yeah, he asked the bird skylark about the secrets of it happiness. It was always happy, but we are not, right? What is the secret behind its happiness? And further, he compared the birds to human, right? What he say? With with thy clear, keen joyance, languor cannot be, shadow of annoyance never come near thee. Thou lovest, but never knew love satiety. So he compared bird's life to human life and conditions and experience of pain. And he said that the bird, the skylark, it's is always joyous and happy, right? But we humans have the shadows of annoyance, sorrows, and pain, right? And further, he said that waking or sleep, thou of death must deem things more true and deep than we mortals dream, or how could thy notes flow in such a crystal stream? Again, talking about mortality and immortality, right? And Skylark has no fear of death because it's immortal. He's considering it a spirit and immortal thing, and it's free from all the pains. And humans fear death because they are ignorant of what is beyond death, and Skylark knows. So that's why it's enjoying its life, and we don't. And further he say, we look before and after and pine for what is not. Our sincerest laughter with some pain is fraught. Our sweetest songs are those that tell of softest thought. Again, he is satiring on human life, that we have worries about the past, think about the past and future as well, right? And further, uh, our sweetest songs are those that tell of saddest thought. So humans worry about the past and longs for what does not exist, and his laughter is mixed with sorrows. And further he said, Yet, yet if we could scorn hate and pride and fear, if we were things born not to shed a tear, I know not how thy joy we ever could come near. So again, he just talks about the joy of a skylark, which we humans don't. Right? Humans suffer from hate, such diseases like, or you can say, bad things. We suffer from hate, pride, fear. So we do not find happiness, uh, but Skylark is free of all these, right? Hate, pride, and fear. That's why it is happy. And further, he say, better than all measures of delight, sound better than all treasures that in books are found. Thy skill to poet word thou sooner of ground, right? And then further he said, he tribute to the bird songs that they are better than anything, right? We cannot attain anything like that, the bird songs, right? And further he said that the skill to poet were that's corner of the ground, means even the poet do not attain that immortality of poetry that your songs have, right? Your songs are better than anything, better than poetry even. And further at last he say, teach me half the gladness that thy brain must know, such harmonious madness from my lips would flow, the world should listen then as I am listening now. Again, he is emphasizing to Skylark to teach him that art of happiness, or to that art to influence people through his poetry, and asking the bird to teach him the art of happiness, because that is key to lovely songs. And the world would listen to him, to his poetry, to his songs, right? To his words, to his thoughts, as he is now listening to the bird. So he want that overwhelming effect that the songs of birds have in his poetry, right? So here the poems end. Thank you for watching.